We are live. Good morning, to the morning muffin, your morning carload of real estate. Cha, cha, cha.
Good morning, Jen.
I'm in my big, comfy sweatshirt today, you guys, in Minnesota. It has been snowing. How many inches do you think we got this morning?
Less than one in my area.
Oh, I got more snow than you. I think
That's
we got
unusual.
3 or 4.
Oh, no. We're only supposed to get one or two up here.
Oh, nice. I'm in the
Anyway,
right spot.
good morning, everybody. I'm Lisa Wickman.
And I'm Jennifer Codis. You can visit our lovely websites down here if you'd like. Our names are in there. And today we are
Well, first of all, we are the Wickman Real Estate Group, EXP in Minneapolis. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. We are. Okay, so make this go away today. We're talking about home inspections. It's Thumbs Up Thursday. So we always talk about companies that we love and like and use and vendors and local companies. And if we can, it's always the best to use someone local, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We have to use someone local.
Well, yeah. I mean, for home inspections, duh. We need somebody that knows all this specific.
But we need to talk about the importance of a home inspection too, not just our vendors.
Yes, it is buyer beware in this state and in most states. I think it's very rare where, the home seller has to know and disclose. Yeah. So what is that? What does buyer beware make you think of?
Due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
It's about doing your own due diligence and making sure, well, the importance of having a home inspection is to make sure that any safety items are taken care of, really big ticket items. And it also gives you the opportunity, if the inspection doesn't go your way for different reasons, gives you the ability to walk away from your transaction. And it's something that, let's kind of back up a little bit. Everybody has a home inspection or should. In this market, we're seeing people waive inspections because it is a seller's market. We're getting, in some cases, people are getting dozens of offers on different homes and people are waiving the inspection. There might be a time and a place for that. It's nothing that Jen or I really recommend.
Never. I would never recommend skipping a home inspection.
The only time I would is if it's either a condo or a townhouse. And you can see that it's in really excellent condition. Everybody has a different opinion, but basically what happens after you have an executed purchase agreement, meaning buyer and seller are agreeing to terms and the purchase agreement is signed, you have an inspection period of anywhere from, let's say, 5 to 10 days. And it's your opportunity then to hire an inspector to come in, and their job, this is what I tell my buyers, their job is to find everything wrong with the house, but we don't care about the little items. We're looking for big ticket items to be perhaps negotiated. And in addition to hiring a home inspector, the general home inspector, if you have a wood burning fireplace, you should always have that fireplace inspected. In some cases, you might have the sewer line inspected, especially if there's a big tree in the front yard. Things like that.
Yes.
So
there's so much that you would need to, and if you live in some of the suburbs that still have septic tanks, or maybe a little further out in the country, a well, is an unlimited amount of inspections that we can do, essentially. Correct. But I think the way I like to tell my clients is, okay, so when you buy a home, you are transferring the responsibilities and from one person to the other. So now the blame isn't on that past person. That blame is on you, right? Because you can't say, I didn't know about this, or because if you didn't know, you didn't do your due diligence and you aren't being a responsible homeowner, right?
Well, I agree with that. with a little caveat, inspectors aren't perfect. Things
Right.
can't be missed.
Right.
So in some cases, it's nobody's fault. But
Right. But that is one of the reasons why we try to hire and you and I vet professional licensed inspectors. It's not just somebody we know, somebody's cousin, someone that does construction. These are people day in, day out that go into a home. They take, oh, excuse me.
it's all right, Jen.
They take the front of your furnace off and they stick their little gadgets in and out of everything and they're testing things. They take the front of the plate off your circuit panel. They are testing things. They're, testing outlets. They're testing windows. And some people, they use, heat-seeking guns up in attic crawl spaces, looking for air leaks and things like that.
Or looking for water.
Or
using
water
infiltration.
And
let's talk about what they actually do. What are they looking at?
Do you want me to pull it up? Do you have a
Forbes list? Because I think that Forbes article says, and we don't need to go through that article, but they're looking from the foundation to the roof, interior, exterior, all the mechanicals, all the electrical, all the plumbing. There, and how it protects you. What am I missing? All the appliances. They run your washing machine. They run your dryer. They run your dishwasher. They literally are checking everything. So here we go. Structure, plumbing and electrical, HVAC, AC, kitchen, exterior, driveways, porches, other spaces. The roof, the gutters. Roofs are hard to do in the winter. They're not going to get up there if it's slippery and covered in snow, but typically they would. And they also get up in the attic and check your insulation. So that's kind of in a nutshell, what they do. And it takes my inspector spends 2 hours at the house prior to me going with the clients to discuss all the findings. So it's not like they go in and do a once over. They're there for a very long time and they're very systematic in what they do so that everything is covered. And you get a 50 to 75 page report.
I like this part, steps to take after a home inspection, because I literally, and my clients, if you're watching, you guys can attest to it. I literally take a blank sheet of paper like this and we go, what needs to be done 1 to 3 years? Like now, or 0 to 3, 3 to 5, and 5 plus. Okay. So what needs to be taken care of immediately? What can wait a little while? And what can we really live with, right? Essentially. So we're prioritizing and we put things down. And then what I do is a lot of times a home warranty can take care of stuff. So I circle the items that a home warranty can take care of. And then I'm like, should we ask the seller for a home warranty and then have them fix X, Y, and Z?
Talk about a home warranty.
Well, I like to use it because the homeowner can.
Well, explain what it is for people who do not know what a home warranty is.
Oh, yeah. A home warranty covers the systems inside a house, nothing structural. So plumbing, electrical, all the major appliances. You can get a 1 year, a 2 year. You can get seller coverage so that if there is a problem, say the furnace is out. I'm going to give you guys a perfect example. Furnace went out and my clients had purchased a home warranty and they needed to replace it. And so the buyer was like, well, I don't want to buy a new one. And so my clients, when they used their home warranty to replace it, were able to get $2,000 off of a brand new furnace. So it's kind of a good thing for the buyers and for the sellers to look at maybe what's a way to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you guys can see. I just wasn't writing real words, but
it's an insurance. Basically it's like an insurance policy.
I call it health insurance for your house. You pay a yearly premium, and then every time you have to call the doctor, you have a copay.
So I will explain. Okay, so I just moved in September, and I negotiated the sellers paying for my home warranty, and I've used it 3 times. I used it to rekey my house, and it covers up to so many locks, and there's variables, and so I had multiple locks, so I paid another $75 out of pocket. I have a $100 deductible. Right when I moved in, there was a water heater issue. They came and fixed it. And then my washing machine was not working properly, so they came out and fixed that. And
That's
so, for $300, I had those 3 things done.
Within the first year. So,
within the first year, yeah.
And it gives you a way to like live with it for a little while longer. Now, these are not major defects, right? In my case with the furnace, it was a major defect, but it's a way to make sure that we are letting our clients know that sometimes things break, right? So this is the analogy that
Murphy's Law, you take possession and then it breaks.
I always tell people that a house is a relationship. And the age of the house is the age of the relationship that you're in with a person. And so like in St. Paul, some of these homes are over 100 years old. You're gonna be changing some diapers.
I love it.
Yeah. And maybe not the ones that you want to change. Right? So you never know. In a house that is 40 years old is gonna start seeing some creaks and some cracks and some, things aren't gonna just magically work the way they used to when it was brand new. And so it's just being aware that it is a working relationship between you and your house, and you guys are aging together and getting to know each other together, and that it's really a commitment in a marriage, and that you have to take ownership of that commitment.
I love your analogy. So one of the things that I tell my buyers is that they need to remember these are used homes. Unless you're buying new construction, these are used homes. When you get your inspection report, you're going to see a plethora of things wrong with the home. But that doesn't mean we go and ask the home seller to fix all these little teeny tiny things that could cost you $5 or $10. What we really care about are there safety issues? Are there any electrical issues that we're looking at? Are there any plumbing issues? Are there any safety issues? Are there foundation issues? How old is the roof? How old are the mechanicals? And in some cases, because we can go in, and buyers often are looking through these rose-colored glasses, and they're very emotional that they can't see everything until we go back to for the inspection. And in some cases, and I know you've experienced this, I've experienced this as well, because we can't see anything with our naked eye, and the inspector goes into so much depth with their inspection. Sometimes it's okay to walk away, and sometimes you need to walk away. Mm-hmm. And it's worth spending that, $400 to $500 to not end up buying this house that might be anywhere from 200, well, even less, to millions of dollars worth of homes. So it's very important. We don't recommend waiving it. Important to do. So,
in fairness, though, too, and this is a caveat to all of that, is you get what you pay for. So a different price point, a home is going to be in different states of disrepair. And that is in relation to the location. So these are variants that like spin around each other. And so you have, in one home, this price is bare bones, but in another part of town, that is a fixed up house. So what you want to do can sometimes determine where you live as well, right?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure I'm following what you're saying, though.
So like a bare bones house in some neighborhoods is $300,000. And
Right.
where it's just, it needs a full gut. Like it's like literally down, like the whole thing needs to be gutted. But a $300,000 house in a different part of the city could be a fixed up, beautiful house.
Right.
And we're just talking about price and location. So if it's important before we talk about inspection, about what you are willing to repair. So going into an inspection, you have to have some idea of what your non-negotiables are. And that's part of having a great relationship with your real estate agent.
Well,
Okay.
and then let's talk about after the inspection. So after the inspection,
Well,
you have a couple of,
let's
yeah.
talk about our relationship with our inspector. Let's talk
Okay.
about John.
Let's talk about John. I use John McGrath all the time. He is very professional. He's very thorough. I don't know how long he's been doing it, but he's been doing it for a long time. I know that. He came highly recommended from agents in our old KW office. I know a lot of KW agents use him, and you can't call him and see if he's free tomorrow, because I can tell you he's not going to be, because he's booked out. So that's another thing. Schedule your inspection immediately. I just think he does an excellent job, and his communication skills are great. One of the last inspections that we had, my sellers just raved about him because he was so thorough. And that's really what you're looking for, is somebody who's going to do an excellent job and provide you with a fabulous inspection report.
Yep. And well, not only the inspection report, but being able to walk you through, okay, so this is wrong, but let's talk about how you fix it. Let's talk about, if this is something that can be solved with a little labor, or if this is something that, we'll need to negotiate. And I think that having good candor is very important in a home inspector.
The other thing I like about him is he's super laid back. Some inspectors are really intense. Some inspectors are a little high on themselves and think they're powerful or something. That's not this guy. That's not his vibe at all.
I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever experienced one of those.
One of
Maybe
what?
I've been lucky. One of those high on themselves.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I have.
I suppose anybody could be like that, right? It's a personality trait. Okay. So, besides them, I'm going to share mine. I like to use Heartland. They don't just have it's not just one inspector. They really do a great job of training their inspectors as well. You can make schedule appointments online. They come and they're always training, and they offer training as well. They do things like sewer scopes and radons and seller home inspections too. So sometimes I lost you. Sometimes when I meet with a seller, they have so much pride of ownership that they want to make sure that they hand over this jewel to the next person, and they want to get a home inspection so that they can make those repairs out of pure love for the next person, because that home had brought them so many blessings. And number one, I love that. Number two, if I can encourage that behavior, I will facilitate it the best way I possibly can. And this is a really great company. They'll come and they'll give you one. Now, a seller's report does not take, I do not think it's a good substitute for a buyer's report, but I have seen in some cases where it was so thorough that the repairs were made that I have seen buyers just waive it, which is surprising to me. But I also think that it shows how much the sellers also cared.
Well, there is a lot of pride in ownership, and I've never personally had any sellers do their own home inspection prior to selling, but I've heard of it. And I've actually seen inspections that sellers have provided.
Yeah. Okay.
We didn't mention radon, which is another.
And we do have a rate. It is getting kind of long, so I'm going to say we do have radon that we did in the past. You guys are more than welcome. I can add the link to it in here so you guys can take a look at it.
I want to talk about one more thing before we go, because I think it's important. After the inspection is done, you have different options as a buyer. You can negotiate a lower price if things are done. You can ask the seller repair, or in some cases, perhaps ask for closing costs in terms of them providing monies for you so that you can do your own repairs. Because let's say a water heater needed to be replaced. They might throw in the cheapest one possible, and you might want a little better one or a little bigger one. So things to think about.
Yeah, and it really comes down to your relationship with your real estate agent and why you hired them. It's our job to make those kind of negotiations.
That's right.
With our clients' best well-being in forethought, right?
Yes. Always keeping their best interest in mind.
Okay. All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Everyone.
A smooth transaction financially with your mortgage lender.
Great.
Okay, see you later.
Bye. Jen, I'm still on.